to the track, it looked like guys were still running turn one like they normally would.
Yeah. I thought the changes were good. Certainly, I think the idea of it to keep us in the kind of the racing line is a good thing. Certainly would promote more passes if we can keep it below those curves. But I think it's certainly better than it was. But yeah, it's still kind of a little bit usable right now.
Was the fall off about what you expected?
Yeah, I thought the fall off was really good. Certainly, Goodyear's hit on something here that's great for the future.
What was the challenge in qualifying practice for you today?
Just didn't do a good job hitting my marks. That was really it. The field is just so close. A 10th would have put us moving on to the next round, and I blew 2 corners big time. So just didn't execute my job.
So after last week and then the starting position you're going to have, I know you still got Bristol on the horizon and what you've done there. What kind of a challenge is Sunday? What kind of position are you in now?
Well, we're in the same as what we came here, and that's to try to get the best finish we can. That's all we can do. We can't control others, and so certainly not the qualifying spot that I was hoping for, but you just never know how these races will turn out, and hopefully it turns out good in our favor. I thought our car was pretty decent, certainly that second session, and so we got something that can contend as long as I keep it going.
How much dialogue has there been with NASCAR since you guys decided not to sign the deal last week?
Not much.
Has there been conversations?
No.
Have you talked to Montoya at all since he got in the car? Have you had a chance?
I haven't.
You
No.
haven't? Okay.
I'm just so hyper focused on the 11 and certainly trying to get all the reps that I can to make sure I do the best job I can. It didn't show that for that one lap there, certainly. But I haven't, and but I'll kind of look at all the notes, after we get done.
So many playoff drivers.
What was the debrief like with your crew chief this week? Because when he was on series, it didn't sound like you two were completely on the same page last week.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I thought, he always kind of trusts my instincts, and I mentioned throughout the day that, I didn't like what I was seeing, and he says, you're the one that's driving. So, he always kind of has my back in those situations, but certainly it was not, it didn't work out how I hoped.
For a guy with such a great record before, like the last several races on restrictor plate tracks, it's almost uncharacteristic for you to be that skittish on a drafting track.
Yeah, certainly. I think had it to do all over again, certainly would have been more aggressive and just taken the consequences of whatever that might have been. But truthfully, I did not feel comfortable inside the car till 50 to go, and at that point, everyone in front of me was 3x3, and there was nowhere to go. So it's just bad timing all around. Like I tried to race somewhere in that second or third stage, nearly crashed, and at that point, I just wanted to get to another pit stop, try to get them to fix the car, and once they did fix it, it was inside that last fuel window at 50 to go. But at that point, I just saw the track was blocked, and so I hung back and was hoping for a wreck that didn't come.
Denny, with so many playoff drivers outside the top 10 in qualifying, is that going to make the race more interesting tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think really the lap time fall off and things like that's going to make it super interesting anyway. For the surface not to be any different than what it was last year, and the lap times to fall off it like it is, I think you're going to see more mistakes. Certainly the braking zones change throughout the course of a run, and you're going to see comers and goers. There's some that was really bad in the long run and some that was really good. So, but certainly I think they found something there that hopefully they can take to all the tracks.
Are you looking ahead to Bristol?
Not yet. I haven't yet. I haven't shifted the focus to Bristol quite yet, but certainly on Monday morning I will.
How possible do you think it is to get stage points with a mid-pack starting spot?
It's not impossible, but I think it comes down to, I've got to get a good first lap restart, maybe get 3 or 4 there, and then you see who jumps, the stages and who doesn't. I'm not exactly sure, what lap the end of the first stage is. 20.
Yeah.
So the tires will last that long, but I think after 15 laps, if you wear them out, you could have cars really off the pace. So I think it's not impossible, but certainly not as easy as if I were to start in the top 10.
With the penalty, and then you have charter drama and then Atlanta. I mean, I know you sometimes thrive in chaos, but is there any part of you that feels like this is almost slipping away?
No, not really. I mean, certainly I don't love where I'm at. That's a given. But I still think if I just do the best I can tomorrow, do the best I can at Bristol, it still will work itself out. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, my number one goals is getting to a win total, and I got plenty of races to do that. So I'm going to try to win at least 2 races in this playoffs, and hopefully they count towards something when I do.
Danny, you're so good at tire management. Do you feel like this race plays more into your hands than it did when it was strictly fuel mileage?
I mean, certainly, yes, is the short answer. I feel better about it, but it's still going to be, you're still going to have cars pressing you and wanting to go, and then you're going to have to weigh that option of, do you let them go and lose that track position, and then count on getting them back, or it's going to be interesting for sure. So I certainly like, the tire fall off. It certainly puts it more in the driver's hands than what we've had.
Do you think we'll get more cautions tomorrow? Because
I think so, just simply because of the mistakes that I think will happen, because the tires I think will wear out, and it's probably going to be right around that 15 and 20 lap mark.
Why do you think? I mean, do you have any theories on why the Bristol tire is doing what it's doing? Because if it's the same tires last year, and temperature is not a thing according to what they did the test, why would it be still wearing?
I mean, if you want to put on a tinfoil hat, I would say, remember when I said they put something in there that they didn't anticipate? I think they put it in this tire, and I think they changed the recipe. This is my totally tinfoil hat. I have no idea, but I think that they said, well, this is what changed, and then let's see if we can put it on the test tire here at Watkins Glen. It wears out now, and maybe it's something that we keep. So it doesn't make sense. Certainly the 2 races that we had in the playoffs last year, Bristol versus what we had in the spring, was just such a vast different race, right? It's hard to believe that the tires, nothing was different with the tires. So yeah, it wasn't temperature related, still wearing out. So maybe they had some sort of recipe that they had to change, maybe requirement wise or code wise, and they didn't think it would do anything, but maybe it did.
If you advance to the round of 12, do the same analytics that you had in your head for Atlanta play out at Talladega?
No, I don't think so. I think that Chris is gonna make me crash or race. He's not gonna let me do that again.
What has it been like having Juan Pablo Montoya around the last couple of days? Do you have any expectations from tomorrow?
I said that I think he's going to get better as the race weekend goes on, as he gets more reps. I can't tell you how hard it is to do what he's doing, which made it so, it makes, the guys that come in here really impressive when they can run the speeds that they do. But I don't really have any expectations. I just want him to have fun, and certainly, having that experience there with that third car, with the personnel that we have on it, getting everyone reps is a good thing.
You mentioned practice struggling getting your marks. What prevented you from getting your marks? Because you've run this track so well, you've had success.
Yeah. It's one car length. One car length, one way or another, really can change. And I can't emphasize how tight the field is. I mean, I'm 11th in my group, but 1300s puts me 5th and moving on. And so I missed turn 1 and lost 4/10, and that was the death sentence.
And you spun in practice, was that just
trying to get more, trying to find the limit with that old of tires. I think I had about 14 laps on them at the time. If you're going to make a mistake, do it then, try to find the limit. That way I can use that information for tomorrow.
No way Bristol will be dramatic next week as it was in the spring, right?
If it's the same kind of race, absolutely. You're going to see comers and goers, and again, you would see the same race as long as everything is the same with the tires and cars. But certainly I think the teams will make adjustments that will make it a little better, which I think it needed to be slightly better. There's nothing that tells me if we had tire wear it would be any different.
You finished second here last year. What kind of cushion are you going to feel comfortable going into Bristol at this point?
I mean, I think I go to Bristol and know I can win. So I'm not really sure. You know, there's no points formula really for where I'm at right now, and you know, you just don't know. You know, certainly, I think that the cars that didn't have, you know, full season speed between, you know, this type of racetrack and Atlanta, this is certainly their opportunity to pounce on, you know, teams like myself that are not getting the finishes that we need. So when we go to Bristol, it usually all kind of works itself out, and I just hope that we still got a shot.
You said that.
This is Custom Pat Chats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Trenton Worsham with Frontstretch.com. Come back for more great racing videos. And if you like us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.